Movement LA aims not only to introduce up-and-coming artists, but also to connect our viewers to events in the Los Angeles arts community. The annual LA Art Show is the largest art fair on the West Coast and features art from over 100 different galleries from the US and around the world. I had the opportunity to sit down with Zhenya at the LA Art Show and talk about her methodology.
For me, it is the integral part of the process. You need the artist, you need the materials, and you need that other person on the side, which is a model, mixed together with all the emotions and all of the feelings and all of the present kind of vibrations.
Right.
You get the result, but that's not over. The painting is never over until the viewer sees it. And then literally you have a kind of a conversation between the artist who's not there, the model who you see in front of you in the painting who's also not there, but you feel their presence, and then the real physical presence of the other side of you, the viewer who's looking at the work and finishing it. Most of the time, I think I paint portraiture, and for me, the portrait is not just the face, it's not the eyes, it's the ear, the thumb. I think the foot can have as much say or more than a face.
Wow.
But I call them nakeds, because it's your soul and body revealed. I draw almost every day from life models. It's almost like a pianist, an exercise. And you just do countless drawings that you, most of them you tear up and say, that's just trash. But it keeps your eye and hand coordination. Fresh. So when you paint, it's kind of like calligraphy. You put that one mark and it sits in the right place.
Currently, Zhenya has a series of paintings exhibited in the lobby of the Cooper Design Space in downtown Los Angeles. In these paintings, the subjects appear ghost-like, as if from another dimension. The lines and colors defining the figures are sparse but deliberate.
You can't clearly tell if it's a man or a woman who's in the painting, if they're old or young, if they're Asian or Caucasian, if they're here or in the spiritual world. It's really about the process, the unfolding, the becoming, and there are very clear, realistic passages in the paintings, but then there's also gaps, providing the viewer to feel in and want to complete the painting themselves. Both the model and the artist lose the usual zone of comfort. And if you're willing to do that and take the chance and take the risk, that's when the true art is born.
Zhenya was invited to do live portraits of Mark during the LA Art Show after party on the top floor of the Cooper Design Space. The sheer energy she brought to her live demonstration enlivened the event and produced drawings that were both vibrant and unique. Zhenya began working with Tim Yarger about 2 years ago. Timothy Yarger is the owner and curator of the Timothy Yarger Fine Arts Gallery in Beverly Hills, California. He immediately found Zhenya's paintings to be both modern and intriguing on numerous levels.
My first impressions when the images were sent to me of Zhenya's work, I was immediately taken by the painterly quality, the subject matter, the intrigue, the narrative, all of which was quite interesting. The fact that Zhenya has a life story and a history informs her work, and that experience compels that which she creates. The first body of work that I saw at the studio was this collection of paintings that was part of the root of why I liked the work. This collection of paintings is the body of work called Marks, which is one individual, a model that Zhenya uses often, who she has a wonderful connection to. Here are 4 paintings that represent different aspects of the model, different settings, different kind of personalities that show through as she's painted these portraits.
Zhenya's work in the Timothy Yarger Gallery has garnered a lot of interest and discussion, and has put Zhenya's work in high demand.
So there's been a very positive response to the work. We have represented thus far 2 primary bodies of work. The most recent series of paintings, well, the artist is a figurative painter, working primarily from live models. A work that both incorporates people from her life and people that she never met that were part of her lives, part of family lives, part of ancestors. So there's a connection, a very personal connection. And so I put this on, and this was a portrait that she did. And I was so taken by it, I exhibited it at a very important international art fair. What do you think?
Zhenya, is this true?
In commentary by Peter Frank, the senior curator at the Riverside Art Museum, he says, "It's not the figure that preoccupies Gershman so much as it is the person who inhabits the figure, who gives life and meaning to the lump of flesh. Gershman individuates her subjects one from another as much as she can, highlighting the particularities of their faces, the peculiarities of their stances, the irregularities of their bodies, and the histories and mysteries suggested by their clothing, no matter how colorful or how scant."
I call myself a dinosaur because I pretty much use a stick with hair in it, which is a brush, and a piece of cloth, which is canvas, and some ground up paints, oil paints. A technique that is, in some ways, is dying off. It's centuries old, but with all the computers and, chemically produced paints, it's a very old technique. You get this charge when you're making art. It's not pleasant. It's not a hobby. It's not healing. It is really this disturbing roller coaster that takes over, and you feel like you're going to die if you don't do something about it. And it just every time I'm in the studio that happens. I would say that it's very much like air. I mean, you just need it. Right. You need it for survival. You can't help it. And that's why you always feel guilty when you're not painting. Right. Because it's there. And it's a blessing and curse that you live with.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Art Movement LA. This week we've had the chance to talk to artist Zhenya Gershman, to see a live demonstration of her work, and to see it shown in the Timothy Yarger Gallery. I've had such an incredible time today. I hope you've had as much fun as I have. My name is Priscilla Liang, your host, and I hope to see you next week on Art Movement LA.